Welcome everyone. So we have covered our research chapter series with our previous video. Now we are going to focus on the Viva presentation, where you have to do this presentation soon after the submission of your final project or research research dissertation. So in this video I'm going to focus on the Viva and what are the things that you need to focus, and what is this Viva, where do you have to do this, and what are the contexts that should be included in this Viva. Also, I'm going to give you some tips to prepare. So we will go and discuss about this Viva. Keep in touch. Okay, so this is the first part of this video, the Viva presentation. So I have made this into three main sections, plus in this section I'm going to talk about what, where, when and why. So what is this Viva presentation? It's an oral defense. See, it's an oral defense where you have to explain, defend your context. Why did you choose this topic? Okay, I chose this topic because of this, and I chose this company because of this reason. So your panel will ask questions from you. So you need to defend your arguments. You need to defend your own work with reasonable justifications and everything, right? You need to defend your work. You need to defend your research project. That's the simplest way of explaining this bio presentation. Where you have to do, so this is basically a physical presentation most of the time. So you might have to go to the university. Maybe there will be 2-3 panel members, especially with your supervisor. So they will ask questions. You need to physically present. You can even have one-to-one session also. Maybe you can make a presentation as well. So it's up to you and up to the university. So it's going to be a usual presentation where you need to interact with the panel. It's not just one-way presentation. It's like a interaction between your panel and you. So they will ask questions from you. So you need to understand your project in and out. Okay. When? After the submission. This is going to be your final part of the dissertation. So soon after you are done with your final project or the dissertation, you need to submit this. And soon after the submission, your university will ask you all to come and do the Viva presentation. So this is ideally soon after the presentations, where you have to summarize all your work and explain during this Viva presentation. So you have to be prepared. Soon after submission, you need to prepare with this Viva presentation. You need to understand everything and you need to know your context and do the presentation after the submission. So after the submission is the time. Why? To check your understanding, originality and critical thinking. They are checking about your understanding about your the project. So they will check what are the things that you don't know about your own project. They will obviously going to ask you cross questions. They will ask for reasons. They will ask you all to justify. So you need to give that defense, just like I said here. You need to defend your own work. Okay, I chose this because of this reason, and this was way easier to do, and there was a research gap about this topic, right? So things like that you can explain. So the why, to check your understanding, honesty. So people usually do this with a third party companies and individual, so that they can submit and get a grade. But in this Viva, if you don't know what you have written, what you have completed in your project, you will not go any further with the submission. They will get to know, the moment they do this, they will understand, okay, this is not you who have done that. You have not done that because you have probably given this to someone else to complete, and that is the document that you have submitted, not that I have done it. Okay, not that you have done it. So they will they will ask cross question just to understand your honesty and integrity and everything. And also they will check your critical thinking as well. So they will ask, okay, even if you say this, there could be reasons like this, there could be risks like this. So then you need to critically argue. You need to critically think and give them answers, solid answers, so that they will be satisfied with your answers. So that is about Viva. So we are not done yet. This is very brief intro about Viva. We will quickly go have and check the second part of this Viva. So good things are coming your way. Just hold on to this and we will see you again. Okay, now we're in the most important part, where I'm going to explain how to prepare, how you can prepare for this Viva presentation. Okay, so the first part, know your research inside out. It's very simple. Understand your research project. You have to know, you have to be aware of everything that you have completed in your research project. read your own work, read from top to bottom multiple times, okay, understand. You don't have to read like from like word to word, just try to skim it and flash out the main areas and try to highlight and keep them in your mind. So because these people are going to ask you cross questions and you need to understand everything that is written in your own project, okay. Read your own work and be very clear. Don't try to complicate it, just give simple answers, straightforward, okay. So for you, first part is know your research inside out. So you need to understand, you need to read, and you need to be aware of your project and the options, the choices that you made during this research project, okay. That's the very first part. You need to focus in terms of preparation. The second part, do a short presentation. Now this is very strategic way to tackle this issue. Rather than just go into the presentation just to answer these questions from the panel, you can have a small preparation with a presentation in a PowerPoint with all the highlights, like the choices that you make, so that you can direct it and explain what is there looking at your presentation. In that way you will have more confidence. So this is something that you can do. But even without this, if you are confident and if you know everything about your research project, still, even without presentation, you can complete this Viva presentation. So in this presentation, what you can mention is that title, background, what are the aims that you have, what is the aim, what are the objectives that you have mentioned, what is the context, challenges and everything. So these are like the basic things. So basic things you can mention in this presentation that you are going to create in a PowerPoint, okay. So this is going to help you always. If you are like not confident, if you feel like doing with the presentation slide is going to be better, you can follow this, no issue in that, okay. Third one, be honest and confident. Always have that confidence in you. Don't let them think that you are like not so confident, you are like 50-50, you don't have that gut feeling to answer. So don't let them think in such way, right? So you need to answer them with confidence and with solid backing up, right? You need to back up yourself and you need to be confident. So defend your choices with logic. Always mention the justification. If they are saying that is wrong, you can accept it, or maybe you can say, okay, no, this is not the reason that I have done that. Yes, of course you have a valid point, but I have done this because of this reason, right? So you have your own justification. So you are going to defend your choices with logic. This is the logic that I follow. That is why I have chosen this part, right? So that's how you have to explain it. If you don't know, there will be times where that you don't know any answer to the questions that they ask. If you come across any situations like that, don't try to complicate it and don't try to give like vague answers. Just try and say, yes, I don't know, I have no idea about that thing. Just politely say it and just move on to the next part, okay? So don't worry about it. The fourth one, practice common questions. This is very important. Always practice. The practice makes perfect. You need to practice common questions where panel will ask you. So the common question will be like, why this topic? Why did you choose this topic? How did you collect your data? What is your sample size? Why did you choose quantitative instead of qualitative? Qualitative have many benefits. Why did you choose quantitative over qualitative? So likewise, they will ask common questions. And what are the limitations and what are the challenges you had to go through while you're doing this presentation research project. So always just go through Google it and understand what are the common questions in a Viva and practice it, okay. I might be able to help you all with that. Just try to focus on this. What are the common questions that they are going to ask and how can I answer in terms of my project? This is my context and these are the answers that I have to give, okay. Depends on your work and the choices that you made throughout the study, okay. So this is how you can prepare in a simple way. I don't want to complicate in this context, and in this video I want to make it like very short and simple so that you can understand very well. So know your research inside out. Do a short presentation. Even without this you can do that, no problem. Be honest and confident. Always have that confidence. You need to convince them that you only did this. You didn't get any support from anyone, or you didn't give this to, you have not given this to a third party, so you have done this is your original work, okay. You need to convince them in such way and practice common questions. So the more you practice, more it's going to be easier for you in the final presentation in the Viva. So you can practice with your friends also. So they can be your panel and they can ask questions and you will have to answer based on your research project. So that is about the preparation. I'm going to give you a few tips so they can follow them as well and do a solid presentation Viva. Okay, so this is going to be the final part of this video. It's very simple. I'm going to talk about the tips in this section. So I have 5 tips for all. The first one, focus more on methodology chapter. This is very important because 70-80% of the questions that the panel is going to ask from your methodology chapter. So in this chapter, so sections that you have made, like updated, do you remember that choice that you made? What is your approach? What is your philosophy? So those things you need to focus more when you read and understand everything. So focus more on methodological choices and options that you made, and what are the differences and the meaning of those options. You need to understand those things in methodology. So the idea is study more on the methodology section, and in this chapter is very critical in terms of Viva. Okay, that's the very first tip that I can give you. The second one, dress smart. So always go with professional attire. Don't let them judge you. Okay, it's very simple and straightforward. Third one, use visual slides if allowed. So you can, just like I said in the previous section, if they allow you to use slides, use some visuals so that you can explain your the results very well. It's going to be easy for you all to complete this presentation. Fourth one, don't read from notes. This is very important. Don't take notes to read. Okay, you need to keep everything in your mind, and you need to be aware of everything that you have completed in your final project. So that's the fourth part. Fifth tip that I can give you, it's very simple. Be calm and confident. The goal is to convince them that this is your original work, that you have done this alone. Okay, you know about this project in and out. So you need to convince them, I know about my project, this is why I have done that, and I have completed everything by my own work, hard work and everything. So you need to be very calm and confident. You need to defend yourself with your answers, and always focus on the justification and limitation, and you will be able to do this without any hassle. So it's going to be very easy for you. This is no complication. Don't be afraid of this presentation. It's going to be very easy. Just prepare, try common questions, and I wish you all the best with your final project. We'll see you in the next video.